and all the way through the show.
All right.
Okay. See you, John.
This song I wrote a couple of years ago after I got out of the Army. Sam Stone came home to his wife and family after serving in the conflict overseas. And the time that he served had shattered all his nerves and left a little shrapnel in his name. But the morphine eased the pain, and the grass grew around his brain and gave him all the confidence he lacked. With a purple heart and a monkey on his back, there's a hole in Daddy's arm where all the money goes. Jesus Christ died for nothing, I suppose. Little pitchers have big ears, don't stop to count the years. Sweet songs never last too long on broken radios. Sam Stone's welcome home didn't last too long. He went to work when he'd spent his last dime, and Sammy took to stealing when he got that empty feeling for $100 habit without overtime. And the gold rolled through his veins like 1,000 railroad trains, and eased his mind in the hours that he chose, while the kids ran around wearing other people's clothes. There's a hole in Daddy's arm where all the money goes. Jesus Christ died for nothing, I suppose. Little pitchers have big ears, don't stop to count the years. Sweet songs never last too long on broken radios. Sam Stone was alone when he popped his last balloon, climbing walls while sitting in a chair. Well, he played his last request while the room smelled just like death, with an overdose hovering in the air. But life had lost its fun, and there was nothing to be done but trade his house that he bought on the GI Bill for a flag-draped casket on a local hero's hill. There's a hole in Daddy's arm where all the money goes. Jesus Christ died for nothing, I suppose. Little pitchers have big ears, don't stop to count the years. Sweet songs never last too long on broken radios.
All right, I just watched John Prine, who I'd not heard of before, and I watched a performance that he did of the song Sam Stone. Yeah, and what are my thoughts? Let's start with him, with John Prine. So I assume he wrote that, and it felt deeply personal. He music is like, it brings joy to people. It's a lovely thing, music. I feel as though he took no pleasure in singing that song because it was linked to someone, or like maybe an amalgamation of people that he himself saw. I wonder if he was in the war. I assume if it's in the US, it would have been around that time, would have been the Vietnam War. And I assume that the scars that war gave him, I'm not talking just about physical scars, like, mental scars, they've stayed with him. He's a different person. He's a different person now. And so in that song, I felt that he wasn't taking pleasure of being there or telling that story of Sam Stone. He was sad. I'm not even sure I saw anger there. He was just sad. He was sad that someone had been taken to a war, had seen some awful things, had come home, had not received support to be able to process and deal with that, and then sought to cope in the wrong way through drugs, and as a result had, kids that were wearing other people's clothes and, resorted to stealing and struggling to get work and whatnot, And there is something sad about that. There's something very sad about it, because you don't just see it in the old days, but in these days too, like the trauma that people have experienced, it doesn't just go away. It hangs on in there, and it's hard and heavy to carry. And so then people, they try and carry it. They try and like cope with it by doing all the wrong things usually. And then of course life gets even worse, and they find themselves in a bigger hole. And then that's a hole that's really hard to get out of, right? Because the hole that Sam Stone would have been in would have been the hole of, I've seen some bad things. I feel fundamentally broken and damaged now as a result of this. And so I got to cope somehow, and the way that I cope is through drugs. And then that means then that you're letting your family down. Now that is a doubling down of shame. Like shame, you don't want shame like he's already got trauma. You don't want shame swilling around in there too. And then the shame comes on. Like, flipping heck, now I got shame to deal with as well. All right, more drugs, that'll help, because it'll numb it. It'll numb the feelings more. But then the hole that he's in is a bigger hole, and it's just a spiral. Like you can see from the beginning of that song where this path was going to lead, right? It was going to lead to Sam Stone dying. And through no fault of his own. In a parallel universe, he doesn't go to war. He gets a job as a carpenter. He has his family. He sees his kids graduate. He goes on different holidays. A different path in a parallel universe for Sam Stone. And it just, it just shows how some people are really unlucky with the things that they've gone through, and they've just got this monkey on their back that they got to carry around with them forever. Like I'd like there to be like more hope with that idea. I think there are ways to figure out how to carry the monkey with support. Do you know what I mean? So like works as a therapeutic type person with an interventionist, and like I can work with people to help people carry it better. I can't make it go away. Why? Because I can't delete their minds. I can't delete their memories. A lot of the things they've gone through are still there, but I can help them to carry it in a way, and I can help them to see what's important in their lives, and I can help them to move towards the things that are important to them, even while they carry this thing that feels quite heavy. Yeah. Oh, well, that's made me pensive and a bit sad, but like that's what you want music to do, right? You want music to provoke some emotion and some sort of like thoughtfulness, and that's what John Prine has definitely done there for me. I wonder what the rest of his songs are like. Well, one other thing I found it quite interesting. The melody was quite a beaty sort of melody. Do you know what I mean? It had like sort of like a quite a beaty, sort of positive, joyful tone, but the story was the opposite. So that contrast was quite interesting. All right, I hope you liked my reaction and my analysis, and catch you next time. Bye bye.
So you'll know that I'm a psychologist, and you might know that I've written a few books. There are links in the description. My favorite book of the books that I've written is called The Unbreakable Student, and it is a mental health guide for university or college students between the ages of 18 and 21. But the thing that I'm most proud of is a project called Connect, which is a well-being curriculum, a 250-hour intervention for young people between the ages of 4 and 11 to be delivered by teachers or teaching staff. It's totally free. There's that amount of psychological intervention, totally free. All you've got to do is sign up. You won't be asked for any payment details. You won't be asked to pay anything. It'll take like 2 or 3 minutes to sign up, and all of a sudden you'll have access to this whole curriculum. It's aimed mostly at teachers, teaching staff, head teachers, people in education, but also maybe some parents out there might find some use in gaining access to these materials. I hope you like it.